The Zimbabwe Election Support Network ZESNI, in partnership with Violet Gonda on Hot Seat, present the election debate and discussion series entitled Making Elections Make Sense. For the next few weeks, ZESNI will bring you cutting-edge radio interviews and public debates on key electoral developments as we draw closer to the 30th of July. Zimbabwe Election Support Network ZESNI, promoting democratic elections in Zimbabwe.
My name is Violet Gonda and I'm one of your hosts for this program, Making Elections Make Sense. And I'm so happy to be in Bulawayo today, where we are going to be discussing, in fact, where I understand that there are 200 nominees who are just vying for 12 seats. So it will be interesting to find out, what exactly they stand for and how we as voters are going to make informed decisions based on what they are going to tell us. And my co-host this evening is Rejoice Ngwenya. Welcome, Rejoice.
We are here because we love to be here. This is our city, so namhlanje kulendabe eziningi kakhulu esifuna sizikhulume ngazo. Just closest to me, we have Dr. Moyo, and we all know Dr. Moyo is the president of the Alliance for the People's Agenda. I think thank you, Dr. for coming. Thank you very much. And next to Dr. Moyo, there is Honorable Mqondisi, and we all know Osipepa. He has been a very familiar figure in our political environment. We welcome you from PRC, Mr. Nkosana. And of course, next to Mr. Nkosana, there is Mqondisi, the young man with a lot of energy, and we are really pleased that we have a very good generational balance today. And Mqondisi is the leader of the Mthwakazi Republic, MRP. Thank you very much for coming, Mr. Nkosana. And then just next to him, we have also one of the veterans of the political movements in Zimbabwe, who strike Mkandla, or ZAPU. And we are also very pleased to have you with us, Dr. Mkandla. Next to Dr. Mkandla, we also have another generational individual, Phulu. We are very familiar with Mr. Phulu. He's a lawyer, he's a human rights activist, and now he's about to test the political waters. And we are pleased to have you here, Mr. Phulu. Right next to Mr. Phulu, we have a representative of the MDCT, Khupe. Her name is Nomvula Mguni, one of our few ladies panelists. We wish we could have done better, but you know that at certain levels, there is very little that we as organizers can do, but we are very glad to have Ms. Mguni here. And then of course, last but not least, I know him very well as a war veteran, a master at toy. We are not going to ask him to toy there isn't enough room on the stage. But Siamazi Ubabongo Mzila-Ndlovu, we always answer. We just hope that right as soon as Mr. George comes, we are going to be able to introduce him so that he becomes part of our family.
Thank you, Rejoice. And so let me start from my far left and so Dr. Nkosana, maybe you can start by giving us your response to what I started off when I gave the introduction, that there are 200 nominees in Bulawayo and we only have 12 seats. does this, what do you make of that? Because does having so many candidates actually reflect how divided we are as a society, or this is a sign of new freedom after President Robert Mugabe was removed from power?
Thank you for the question. I hope that greeting does not count against my time. So I think it's a reflection of a number of things, and all of them I think are good things. Well, no, most of them, not all of them. The first one is that I think Zimbabweans, after November, although we know that November was a coup, but at the space it's open for Zimbabweans to express themselves is a good thing. So Zimbabweans are taking that space and occupying it and making their views known. And also they're presenting themselves as candidates for people to choose from. And I think that's a good thing. The challenge, however, is that our politics, as you know, up to date, has been about not serving the people, but people looking for office to feed their family. And that is a problem. I believe that a lot of these masses you're seeing wanting to run for political office is not about serving the people at all. It's about perpetuating the same mentality of I get into office in order to get money, to get access to resources, to get a 4x4, and that kind of thinking. So we are suffering from, if you like, the legacy of that behavior within our politics. But on the whole, I think it should also, however, force our communities to begin to engage and think about who exactly am I going to choose and why. And if there is only one candidate, then you're not given much choice, and therefore you don't have to think too much. But if you're given 10 people and you have to choose from amongst them, I'm hoping that it forces you to try and match the job that needs to be done, the track record of the person you want him to occupy that position, their skill set, and all of their reputational issues.
Thank you. Yeah. Mr. Spevankomi?
I want to agree with Dr. Moyo. We've not seen it before. This is the first time that we've had so many people competing for one position. In the past elections, you would actually be competing with 2, 3 or so. Today, you are competing with 26 others. 22, 17. I think it's a sign of that democracy is now open. Many years ago, I'm not saying I agree with what happened then, but many years ago, they only allowed people with property to vote. Today, anybody with or without property, with or without responsibility, you are voting. You are saying, I'm presenting myself to be elected. My thinking is that this is just the beginning. As we go towards the end of the race, you'll only see a few. They will just disappear.
Thank you.
They will not be there.
Mqondisi?
Thank you very much. Mzila-Ndlovu. As Dr. Nkosana will say, that the reason why there are now many political players, especially participating in the forthcoming elections, is mainly caused by that most of the people who are participating in these elections just are looking mainly for maybe job or in form of maybe should I say even allowances or vehicles. As we all know that there is some should I say remunerations which goes along with when one becomes an MP. But my argument is that the biggest challenge that we have so far is that most of these political players have one time or more than one time worked together, especially the so-called political players who are claiming to be fighting against ZAPU, one or the other, they have once worked together. But to prove that, probably what Dr. Moyo has been saying is that these people, in whatever political party that they were in, they failed to prove that one or the other, they can still be together there. Instead of them proving that they are indeed fighting against ZAPU, they have really, shown that it's not all about representing people, but all about representing themselves, whereby they have proven to themselves that it's not all about people, but about themselves driving those 4x4 cars and getting allowances. So this issue of having 200 participants in form of members of parliament in the forthcoming elections is not all about the issues affecting our people, but it's all about people wanting to gain whatever which is there for their own benefit, not for the people.
Thank you.
I will not repeat what has been said, but a lot of it makes sense to me too. The most important thing I can say right now is that we should not forget that after the 14th of November event, when the military took over, it looked as if this was the beginning of an open society where everybody could forget the 38 years of ZANU dictatorship. So I'm not surprised that there's a flowering of political participation. But also, it means that everybody wants to try their hand, even those who didn't feel confident enough in the past. You know, esindebeleni ngabantwana bedlala phandle abanye besithi hayi ime muhle ensoni babesithi lwana uzaba muhle nxa esezigezela babengathi ukuthi lwana unjani njani. So I think that yikho bazaba bahle bonke sebezigezela, but okwakhathesi bonke akube lithi bindawonye. It is the time that everybody can try their hands at the game. Thank you.
Sanibonani. Thina njenge-MDC Alliance kuyasithokozisa kakhulu nxa sibona abantu abaningi bebuya bezofayila amabizo abo e-nomination court besithi bafuna ukumela abantu, because we have fought for a long time for the opening up of a closed democratic space, and so we think this is evidence of an open democratic space as it's called. But of course, akhona amanye push factors, push individuals to contest because they want to represent abanye babo lokunye lokunye okukhulunyiweyo. I think the democratic process itself will sort those issues out. But however, for those who are tempted to say, okay, let's find a way to ensure that we reduce abantu abakhona nomination court. I-danger ukuthi siyagcina siba ne-politics elitist. Xa umpela sisesikhulu efuna ukurepresenta abantu, uthi umuntu lo ngenxa ukuthi ufuna ukumela abantu. Xa umuntu ophuwa efuna ukurepresenta abantu, it's also easy to be tempted to say, engxewe suka ukuthi ufuna umsebenzi. Yet it's true ukuthi banengi abangaphutshwa ama-reasons are wrong. But in the end, I think I agree with what everyone else has said. But I believe the democratic process will iron out those issues, and if you articulate your issues well, abantu bazakuvotela.
Sanibonani. Ngihlezi phambili lapha labo baba abaqeqeshileyo kakhulu. Ekuqaleni kuthiwe ngilinguni ngizayibeka ngesintu. Ngizakuthi mina ngivumelana labantu abakhulumayo ngisithi kuhle kabi ukungena emincintiswaneni. Abantu bangazi beba baningi kuhle kakhulu ngoba ekugcineni kuzaphutsha abakhethiweyo ngabantu. Njalo ukuhamba kukakhulu wethu lokukhona uRobert Mugabe ukhiphe ukwesaba kakhulu ngoba abaningi besisesaba ukuthi ungabonakala usimisa ikhanda ungena kwezepolitiki ngesinye isikhathi uzawunyamalala. Manje ekuphumeni kwakhe kukhanya ngani okuyinto kwakhona akusekho, abantu sebengabonke sebengagijima benzeni bami. So ngithi mina kuhle kakhulu ukuthi abantu bancintisane ngobuningi babo ngoba iqiniso likhona ukuthi ama-position njengalapha koBulawayo ama-MP ayi-12 kuphela, kutho ukuthi azaphuma kuphela engu-12 bangaze abantu babe baningi. Ngiyabonga.
Sanibonani. Munjani. It's amazing how easy it is to achieve consensus amongst debaters. like this evening. All these people who have said something before seem to belong to one political party. Let me differ. Let me differ and say, in my view, we could choose to take a simplistic view and say this denotes, a drift towards material attraction, perhaps, but I'm not one of those attracted by material well-being. My view is that is a bad reflection of the absence or lack of democratic practice within the more established political parties. Where each person says, do I have a voice, can I be heard? I can't be heard. So now that this is less fearsome to go and for me to stand out there and say, I represent this alternative view, and there's nothing to stop them. It is like you are cooking with a pressure cooker and suddenly you lift the lid, the steam will hit you. This is the steam that is hitting us. But I think it's healthy for us. It is healthy for this country, but not for this nation, because we don't have a nation.
Now, you heard my co-host talking about the multiplicity of the political parties and the congested political party environment. But then the question is, what makes you different from the next political party? We see our Keta, they say Ketwen. We think that they are going there, they say a Keta Moba, but Keta Umdo Chieneyo, Ikomeli Chieneyo, Lele. I ideology akona ichiene. Lina ichiana. Nga umtebila lele kangele inkankaso yenu. Wina akubona ukuchiene phakathi kwezanu FDC Alliance answer. Abiyesitasela bakithi. Uma sesiphazamisa Nkondla.
Ngumbuzo omkhulu kakhulu lo. Lingakhangela ama-manifesto ethu. Thina lathi sina singeyethu izolo. Isenzile nje manifesto ethu izolo. Lingakhangela ama-manifesto ethu wonke. Kufana lamadoda akhombisa umfazi. Wonke ayafanana. Siyabe sisebenzisa maybe different words and what have you, but we're trying to sell the same thing. So mina ngokubona kwami into yenza ukuthi sichiyane ukuthi likhangele ukuthi lapha emuva lapha esuka khona ngithi singabantu abanjani is the only thing that's going to tell you the truth. The track record is the only thing that's going to tell you whether the promises are founded or not. But the promises are going to be virtually the same. Slightly different language, different styles of writing, different vocabulary, true. But by and large, we're going to be trying to do exactly what I'm telling you. It's different people quoting the same woman. What do? You try and compete and they use very similar, recognizable things. So if you want to make a choice that is really informed, look at the history of all these people, myself included. It's the only thing that will tell you the truth.
I think that our political parties are called our same name foot. Again, we go back to the same thing. Why having all these candidates? We also have many political parties that are now playing, all saying we are going to do this for you. But I think it is important to in the miskati soku educate abantu silutshwana. Otherwise abantu bayakhetha babale. The tragedy is that even wonke ama-manifesto la esikhuluma ngawo kabalwa. Very, very few people read them. Now, kuyini okunye kuzakusehlukanisa. Abanye in the political parties bade, abanye bafitshane. Abanye balendevu, abanye abana. Abanye bayachaya abafazi babo, abanye kababachayi. And so that will make a difference. That will make a difference. Izinto eziningi esizipromisayo, eziningi zakhona ziba difficult ukuzi-implement ngenxa yokuba ama-budgets ethu eZimbabwe manotshwana, i-budget ilutshwana. I think it is going to be important that our manifesto swabali njalo sinanzelele ukuthi laba abathi benza lokho, what have they done in the past? Abanye sebeliminyaka eminingi 38 years, abanye 18, abanye 5, abanye only 1 month. What have they done? I think it will be important for voters to actually look at and read the manifestos.
Fighting against the 1979 Grand Plan, silwela i-political power yabantu bemathebeleland. Ngiyezwa abantu bathi kukhitshizana PF mhla ka-14 November abantu bebesithi kukhitshwa uRobert Nkandla. Sabona abanye be-opposition lawo bencedisa ukuyakhipha uRobert Nkandla. The very same people kade sibatshela ukuthi no, it's not all about Robert Nkandla, but it's all about ZANU-PF, which is a system. They are now the ones asebesithi hayi asikhipheni ZANU-PF. So bethina okokuqala silwela i-political power eyasuswa emathebeleland ngo-1980 osokusithethe 38 years anumathebeleland bengena-political power bengakwazi ukudithema into zabo zidithamayinwa eHarare. Ngokunjalo-ke sibuya-ke lo mehluko naloko ukuthi thina sithi abantu abazivuse endaweni zabo njengakwenza abantu ngathi abantu beGwanda bake bathathelwa amacimbi ngabantu abavela kwezinye indawo. Khona kuthanda kodwa bengadingi ukuthi beqale bayevotela bekuthi uthanda bakithi bakhumele izinye beyixotsha abantu abavela kwezinye indawo ngoba kibo basixotsha labo nxa siya gebha igolide lokunye abalapho. Ngiyabonga.
Okokuqala, I think mina ngimele iphathi endala kuze zonke eziphambili. Iphathi eyiyo yasungula konke lalabo ababhazi babafobizana. Yikho into yokuqala ukuthi silwela i-tradition esasuka nayo esasiyikho khona ungasenzakalanga esasikulwele. That's number one. Okwesibili njengoba sithujaga la kwezinye indawo kulokuhwaba abantu bahamba bethathela abanye ezigabeni zabo. Now thina sithi akube ne-devolution of power so that zonke izigaba zibuse imnotho okwalapha esihlezi khona. Ngaleyo ndlela kuyasolva ukuthi abantu bangathatha amagcile eGwanda bangathatha inkusu itsholotsho bayixoza khona le endala. So ziningi izinto ezingenzakala nxa kune-devolution of power, but also kokugcina ukuthi thina silezikwelede kuleli lizwe. I think yeyodwa iphathi yabulawela abantu abaningi abangakakhutshwa le mgodini labo bhalapho khonapho wafela iZAPU. So isikwelede leso sisitshiye. Ngiyabonga.
To MDC Alliance imele ukuthi siqedise lokho esakuqalisayo. Saqalisa labanye abaningi ukuchallenge umbuso kaRobert Nkandla neZANU-PF. Khathesi as we sit here umbuso lwana uRobert Nkandla kasekho kodwa umbuso lwana lokukhona. And we still push together labanye abantu. Phakathi kwendlela we split because of our ideas abaningi atshiyeneyo ukuxabana lokungazifanayo. Kodwa abantu sounding listened nxa sisiya kibo bethi no, buyelani nebambana. We have made that attempt and we have successfully managed to find our candidates as an alliance ebambeneyo. Isithembiso sethu ukuthi sifuna uku-implementa izinto eziningi eziku-constitution ezimayelana namalungelo enu, sibone ukuthi ayagcwaliswa ama-institutions ena-constitution, ama-commission, ama-human rights commission, sibone ukuthi kuyasebenza, silungise i-economy, sigcwalise futhi lezithembiso ezinjengabo-devolution. I-manifesto yethu as a detailed approach ukuthi sifuna ukwenzani mayelana nabo-devolution lezinye izinto ezijiyeneyo. Siphathi futhi emelwe ngupresident omutsha oyoung ole-energy who is pushing very hard ukuthi i-change le esiyifunayo yenzakale.
Lathi sethulile imanifesto yethu thina sikhokhelwa uMkhupe nje ngenxa yokuthi okusenze singani siyacheda kulaba ebesilabo. Ukuthi thina sifuna ukuthi silandele i-constitution, umthetho, ukuthi nxa sibeke umthetho ukuthi izinto zizahamba kanje kumele sikwenze ngoba singekela ukulandela umthetho pho singangena ekubuseni sizawulandela na umthetho ngoba i-constitution imele i-protecte mina lawe nxa ngingasayilandeli mina sengiphezulu ngizakusebenza njani ngizakuvikela njani yikho esikulandelayo bese sisithi thina 7 leadership service sikhangele sabona ukuthi esikhathini esiningi umuntu uyakhethwa ngabantu ukuthi abamele abe member of parliament uze ese-addresswa sokuthiwa chef so ungaba ngu-chef usungu-boss kanti abantu bekufakela phana bakufake njengokuthi uyisisebenzi sawo uyabamela pho nxa usungu-boss uzobamela kanjani so sithe thina ukuthi sibuyisele ubuntu lenhlonipho ukuthi abantu bazizwe bengabantu kumele silandele imithetho yikho okusenze sibe lapha esikhona ngalesi sikhathi sisithi sizimele lathi abantu basikhethe ukwenzela nxa siletha inguquko esivumelana labantu hayi evela kithi kuphela.
What sets us apart from the rest of the political parties as answer is that we are openly regional. And our regional stance is informed by the experiences, some of whom, like myself, if I can give myself as an example, having fought in the nationalist liberation struggle that so many people pride themselves of, as a young person fighting for independence, and realizing that in 1980 my region became nothing, and they were so patient, surrendered all the weapons, some of the most dangerous weapons. Look at me properly. The sacrifice that some of us made to have this country liberated. But what happened? Because people felt, dear chete chete. Now, so the aspect of dear chete chete is not a panacea to the problems of the country. This is what I will ask the people of this country probably to stop and think. Wake up and smell the coffee. That what seems attractive now may not actually be the solution to your problems. And I think a regional approach does not deprive anything from anyone. In fact, the better, those who are officially regional, like me, I've worked for another party fighting for democracy since 1999 or 2000. What I saw was something so despicable, disgusting leadership that I saw, which actually took us to where we are now. The kind of leadership, which was saying the proliferation of this party is an adverse reflection of the character of leadership, especially in opposition. So we should not, sugar the pill around the type of leadership we have provided to this country. When we are supposed to provide an alternative, as MDC, we failed. I'm the person who did the investigations and read my report. Please find them on Mzila and on my Facebook wall. We find them, those reports that show you what kind of people, the people in the leadership of the MDC are. And I'm saying these two aspects, the national liberation struggle and my involvement in the MDC pro-democracy struggle, inform me that I should stop living in denial that we have anything called national in Zimbabwe, because we have not even started.
Mr. Mzila-Ndlovu, maybe with this brings us to this specific topic, actually of devolution. Quite a few of you have mentioned this issue of devolution. So maybe let me start with you. That how will your party implement devolution, which has evaded us even after the 2013 constitution?
Well, I think the concept of devolution is a very noble one. But there's an agenda which the president of MRP referred to, the 1979 ZAPU agenda. That agenda is militating against devolution. The mass resettlement of people from Mashonaland in Matabeleland is what is holding back devolution. And I don't until ZANU-PF is content that there are enough Shona-speaking people in Matabeleland, where they are sure now that the representatives in Matabeleland are largely of Shona origin. It's a deadly ideology, and this is what to prevent.
How will the MDCT, led by Khupe, deal with this issue of devolution? How will you implement it?
Okay. As it is said, this devolution thing is in the Constitution, and we are saying we want to stick to the Constitution. We want to implement what is in the Constitution. When Dr. Khupe decided to do what she did, it was because she was told that she cannot rule this country because she's in Ndebele. She was called names like she's a dissident. So there's so much resources in Matabeleland. If I could cite a few examples. If you look at the border in Bedbridge, it makes so much money. If you look at Plumtree and Vic Falls, there's so much money. If some of that money was going into our provinces, I think development would be achieved. So we are saying what we agreed upon should be implemented. Parliament, members of parliament from Matabeleland and the councillors from the local authorities should sit and discuss things of their regions. I see now even the Mat South and the Mat North have handed in a list of provincial councils. Those should sit, because those are the only people that know problems in their areas. If they sit with their own people in their own areas and come up with plans and strategies of how they want to move forward, this is achievable. We have so much resources like gold. Why is it that when money is made, it all goes to the central government and nothing is left in the provinces? I know that central government does need something. It will get a little to manage their own, but the rest should be given to the rightful people for development.
Our blueprint recognizes the same challenges of broken promises in as far as devolution is concerned. Broken promises in as far as the people of Matabeleland as a region are concerned. And we have pushed for devolution, civil society has pushed for it. Finally, it's in our constitution, and our focus right now is to ensure that Chapter 14 of our constitution is implemented. We know that the present government has not implemented to the extent of not appointing the officials that are supposed to see, particularly the provincial councils. So those things need to be implemented. I know that Dr. Zimbabwe has gone to court to challenge that. So we say in our blueprint that is an absolute priority. It's a non-negotiable. But one of the things we need to do is to ensure that even on our part, those promises do not remain empty. And so we will pass laws to ensure that we give more powers to councils, the provincial councils, the local authorities, to be able to make their own laws and make real decisions. So we are committed to that principle as a political party, but also internally we are committed to having leadership that will ensure that there is no U-turn or breach of these issues. And so this is our position as far as it coincides with our whole idea of building a consensus state, because we recognize that our nation needs building. It's one of our canons that we want to build our nation, and the nation must be built taking this key aspect into account.
Thank you. I would like to start off by agreeing with what Mzila said. Ukuthi i-grand plan yenze ukuthi abantu beMatabeleland baswele izinto zabo ngenxa yokuthi kufakwe abanye abantu befakwa ngu-central government abafakwa ngama-institutions aweMatabeleland. Now, so i-devolution iyafuneka ukuthi izigaba zonke zibe labantu abavela khona beziphathele amandla Okwesibili ungabona lisidla emganwini ngabantwana umuntu oqala ngokudla kuphambi kwakho engadlanga phambi kwakho ufuna ukuthi angaqeda bese sidlo kwakho seqedwe kwakho so i-devolution kumele imise khona lonke lokadle phambi kwakhe angadli phambi komunye umuntu uphulu lapha ukhulume nge-constitution. It's extremely important. Chapter 14 okhuluma nge-devolution uthi yena kumele kube le mali supporta i-devolved government. In other words, ama-provinces angu-10 akhuphe not less than 5%, it says the constitution, which means 95% ingasala ise-Harare. Balanza 90 la 6%, but here you have a devolved government. They can program the 94% in Harare. In other words, we are selling imali yokugadalisa xoxe eHarare. Asifuni ngangolonda usifuni devolution lesebenzayo. Sibone ukuthi lapha ama-MPs asuka la ngawahambe siyalala ehotel abuye futhi engareport report ebantwini. Sifuna i-accountable government lapha is in the material just like in any other part of this country.
Siyabonga sithi kuphela iqembu phakathi kwamaqembu wonke aseziphambili asebenzanile uku-implement i-devolution of power kakhulu lisibonile sixotsha othisha besishoneni ezikolo zemathebeleni ngasibona siba umsindo egodini laphana sithi hayi igodi imali ingavulwa nxa kuzabuya abantu bempumalanga though thina siyadlula siya ku-restoration ngoba sicawa i-devolution sayi-implementa sesisodwa komthwakazi. Lokhu ngukhulumela ukuthi bonke la abantu abaphambili i-devolution lesikhuluma ngayo ilikhona uconstitution khona from 2013 yiyo yodwa into engaka-implementwa ngoba ibenefit abantu bemathebeleni singadliwa sonke lapha ngoba i-ZAPU siyakwazi siyareka ukuthi usamela yini omunye 2023 sizokhuluma futhi nge-devolution of power. Thina sithi of power iya-implementeka even ungangena ngeparliament yikho libone sizama ukulwisana labantu laba saqhubeka si-enforce ukuthi abantu bakithi basibuse endaweni zabo. Yikho ngisithi abanye namhlanje o-MDC Alliance labo zanu ade singabezwa ukukhuluma nge-devolution sebeqalisa ukukhuluma ngayo kanti ngabona icele sesibona labanye sebebuya begqoka iqhele kwelakithi bethwele ezitolo engayifuna inkululeko yabantu bakithi hayi ama-peace arrangements. Ngiyabonga.
Abantu beZimbabwe were asked as to what they want to craft a constitution as well, and the various committees of parliament went around asking questions, and all provinces were interrogated on the issue of devolution, many of the provinces actually did say they want devolution of power. Abantu basebenziniwe ubuswa iHarare. Abantu abakukhangeleleyo ukuthi izinto abazifunayo bazizuze lapho abahlala khona. Bengatraveli besuka lapha besiya eHarare kuyadinga into encinyane. I think that is the reason why abantu bakwenza lokho. I think i-devolution of power as implemented after these elections. Ngoba sifakile from our rural provinces abantu abaku-provincial council. Lapho ku-Bulawayo is a metropolitan council that will be there. Ezahlanganisa ama-MPs wonke plus 29 councillors from Bulawayo. I think it will be an exciting thing because so much about a coordination between the councillor of Bulawayo and the MP of Bulawayo. So it's about a coordination. Now, even my brother here offered something else. Like I enjoy devolution by Sikol. Laba regionally now. To have these different views, but at least labo bazamele bayi-enjoy into esibese engayi-enjoy for many years ngoba besibusha ngabosikomishi. But I think devolution is welcome. It brings governance to the doorsteps of the people.
This is a serious issue. Let me start off by agreeing with Uba Mzila. We don't have a nation at this point in time. We've been divided, I think, artificially and deliberately. But what I want you, going all the way back to the number of candidates and exercise of democracy, what you need to realize is that most of the responsibility in democracy lies with the voter. So please, if you're going to solve something as complex and as emotive as this, don't let your emotions run away with you. Don't let your emotions run away with you. Umama, by the way, Umankomo. So, Nkosana Moyo. My father is from the Midlands. Umama Umankomo, Osbethelapuz. My wife is from Manicaland. So I cannot choose. I'm totally impartial. Devolution is a good thing because devolution allows you, if you implement it properly, to exercise accountability. Elections are meant to choose people from amongst the society who become your emissaries. They are your how can I call them? You are sending them to represent you, and they need to be accountable to you. They need to know how you live, what are your issues, in order to be able to take that to government, central government, and they present your wishes, and they come back and report to you. That's what elections are supposed to do. So devolution helps you to bring your representatives much closer to you, and the lower levels of accountability much closer to the people. So there should be no debate. Devolution has to be implemented. It has to be implemented. But all the regions of this country are only regions of one country. Therefore, let's not get emotive about talking about devolution as if it was independence, because it's not. We want to be one country. We want a leader who is going to reunite us to make us one people. So this is where you need to be very careful about the emotionality. When you want devolution to mean independence, everybody else is going to do that. Then we won't have a country. And there is a lot of downsides to being a tiny little population which is autonomous totally, rather than getting your leadership to be wise enough to build a country that is united. It's a different issue. So let's just come down and not be emotive, but wise in our choices, and choose leaders who are going to help us to build a nation. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have been told time and time again that Bulawayo was one of the most industrialized cities in Zimbabwe. 60% of our young people are unemployed. Now, how are you going to deal with this problem? We know that politicians are always talking about industrialization. Bulawayo is going to be industrialized. Bazazuza now Mqondisi in a devolved state. We want employment. Food will happen. It's not about political power only. It's about eating food on the table. So, can you explain to the audience, ladies and gentlemen, just start with Dr. Moyo.
Industrialization, again, we need to look into the future, and we need to look at the world, the way the world is working today. I've explained in our manifesto, and I've explained to audiences, the minute I get elected, as far as reviving our economy is concerned, one of the first things I'm going to do is to sit down with the leadership of Mozambique, the leadership of Tanzania, the leadership of Zambia, and Malawi. I choose these countries specifically, but not exclusively, because our history of struggle for independence gives us a starting point, because we worked with these countries. Industrialization of today going into the future cannot be done on the basis of very small countries like Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has got a population of about 15 million. And that's the total. That's not everybody in that 15 million is got no purchasing power. So when you want to revive Dunlop, You don't want Dunlop to sell tires to Zimbabwe only. You want Dunlop to sell tires to a much bigger market. You want to develop what we call an economy of scale or a bigger domestic market through economic integration. So if I take these countries and put them together, Dunlop can then sell tires to all of these countries. But it means those countries should not compete with Dunlop. But let me finish. I feel the only way that those countries are not going to compete with Dunlop is if Zimbabwe is also prepared to buy something from them. So you have to have reciprocity. We built a bigger Dunlop here for all of these countries, and each one of the other countries builds something which we buy.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
The PRC manifesto recognizes significant challenges in industrialization. It's really not going to be a walk in the park. After, the coup brought its own set of challenges, but there are serious challenges of industrialization. We are talking as if really there is something, but there is nothing going on, even if it was said that Bulawayo is the industrial hub of this country, but there's nothing going on. There's faith going on in this city. And the challenges that we have is lack of finance. Those that want to resuscitate our industries find that there's no money. And there's no money. And those are the challenges that we have. High import finance, weak consumer protection, high interest rates if you go to the banks. I think those are the bigger challenges. I would like to agree with Dr. Moyo that to address these challenges, we will need to cooperate with other countries. We cannot live in an isolated Zimbabwe, as we have been doing in the last many years. And I think if we actually cooperate with other countries and invite even those that are in the international community to come and invest in this country. They can only invest if we promise not to take away 51% from them and give it to one of us.
Udokotela Moyo Nkosana uthe ekhuluma okunye wakhuluma ngama-emotions. Ufisa ukuthi abantu bakithi bekuzwise ukuthi nxa sikhuluma into emathebeleni asikhulumi ngama-emotions, especially nxa sesikhangela ngokuvuselela i-industry yakobulawayo. Lizananzelela ukuthi lakathesi akhona amankampani asaqhatsha kobulawayo, kodwa angaqhatshi abantwana abemathebeleni abaphume emakolitshini emathebeleni. So ngokunjalo ibulawayo industry yabulawa deliberately. Sabona amankampani esuka lapha esiya relocate eHarare, kuthathwa le machine yangikhona isiyavuselela iHarare kodwa kubulawa ngapha. Ngethina njenge-MRP sithi thina okokuqala vele ubulawayo industry kasiselayo kufana labantu abazaqala phansi. Yikho lizawonke izikole ezinjengabo-NAST. Ama-students amaningi afunde NAST graduate lapha 95% or so abaveli la. Ngoba into yokuqala iyonakale khona phana ezikolo. Ngikhulumile ngendaba yama-teacher ukuthi kathesi ama-teacher agraduate kuwebsite yako-UCE abakithi khona la abaye ezikolo zakithi kuhamba abantu abavela kwezinye izikolo. So indaba leyi abavela kwezinye indawo, indaba leyi abantu bengayithatha kancane bethi ngiyama-emotions and what have you, but ngasikhangele sithi lokuqala kwabulawa ubulawayo ngabomu kusiyaphakamiswa uHarare, kwabuya kwasuswa abantu beHarare balethwa ngabazodobha khonokho okuncane. Ikho lizabona izitolo chophisi labo okay labo bani bani ma-restaurant kugcwele abantu abangayisibo bala. So masaqala ukuvusa ubulawayo kumele siqale sivume ukuthi sokungamanxiwa thina sizamlungisa ngendlela esikuhlele ngayo njenge-MRP ukuze sikwazi ukuthi kubenefit abantu bakithi abantu abavela kwezindawo yabo.
Masikhuluma ngokuvusa ubulawayo, into yokuqala kumele siyazi ukuthi kumele sikhumbule ukuthi ibulawayo yayivele iyiyo eyicenter Central African Federation lapho. Yiyo ngathi ngesikhiwa i-hub, communication hub. Ama-railways wonke esuke eDurban, esuke eMaputo, esuke eCape Town, le Tanzania yedlula lapha, le Benguela e-Angola yedlula lapha. So this is the hub. Kumele kube le Trans-Kalahari, this is the hub. Now, in place of that hub, so hamba amagonyeti i-railways seyaphela, seyadliwa ziyaphela, idliwa ngabantu aba-connected ku-system. Now, there's certain time corruption yenza ke lelizwe. It's so heavy. Kade ngikhumbuze ngokuthi kuzabe sokulinga khulu. Alikhumbulani ungumuntu othi ungamphukudla adle kuze kuphele, ungaphela adle amaforo. Yikho kwenza le So, the nature of corruption in this country is massive. First of all, we need to plug that. Secondly, we have to be sure ukuthi abangaphethe Nkosana njalo ngapha ukuthi i-foreign direct investment abantu bakwazi ukuthi bangaletha imali yabo lapha ngayisozidli ungazi wathatha 51% ifake isikopeni nifake imali. So we have to find a way ukuthi investment evela ngaphandle abantu bakwazi ukuthi baze-investa nomuntu oserious oza-investa something. Then on top of that into lezi zokuthi ungazi ufake kwi-factory la ufice abantu sebehlezi phandle abavele emtare. That's why we link net devolution. Now let devolved government we need to make sure that industry here is it will serve our investors. But at the end of the day, I want to make the industry layer ibalethele umehluko. Bangazi bakho yabesekhiwa ama rice ungaphutho angabantu bangazi bakhiwa ama rice siyabonga baba bangakhiwa ama rice ngokuphethiwe yabo.
It's amazing how Zimbabweans sitting together have very good ideas. And as Zimbabweans, we know what to do. And especially if you take it from a point of view, Phulu is not saying to you, that's not our idea of leadership. The idea of leadership is that we must harness abantu abalolwazi abaziyo abafana nabona abahlezi phambili khona lapha. You must be able to build a team ezakwenza konke lokho. Abantu should have faith should have confidence in us. Kumele basitrust. We must put up a government and a line up a team that we can trust. Njalo etshengisayo ukuthi iyalandela lokho ethi izakwenza. So that once it's doing that ilizwe abantu singabathembisa ukuthi lingafaka imali eZimbabwe kasoze siyikuquluzi singangena kuma bilateral agreements ukuthi lina ama agreements ama market law kasoze siwa breach ubesenze ezinye izinto uhudlu sisephula lawo ma agreements. So I think as Zimbabweans we are optimistic ukuthi iZimbabwe ngelinye ilanga izalunga nxa isilungile. I-development elungileyo, i-development ethi nxa uBulawayo elama-industry, elama-resources, abantu bakoBulawayo must be seen to benefit, like Mqondisi says. Abantu bakoBulawayo must benefit from izikole ezikoBulawayo. Abesigodini ba-benefite labo nxa kule-Farming College. Kumele kube lendlela how that institution is beneficial to abantu. So our policy is going to be closely connected to indaba ye-devolution. Lendaba yokuthi abantu esigabeni sabo kumele babe lamandla ukuthi ba-benefit from ama-resources abo benze ama-decisions.
Siyabonga.
Ngibona ukuthi si-develop especially njengoba kutsho kwabantu especially thina eMathebeleni i-education system yethu eMathebeleni iyehle kakhulu. Uke kwenziwa i-study lapha ukuthi kubonakala ukuthi kade yini abantwana bengapasi esikole. Okunye kuqanjwa ngakhona ukuthi abantwana bebefundiswa ngabantu abakhuluma olunye ulimi. U-Coltatu lowa ngu-Minister of Education sometime uyenzile i-study naleyo wathola ukuthi umntwana ungamkhulumisa esesemncane ngesihlobo angasiswisisiyo kuba intimidated angithi. So umntwana ngaba intimidated akasenzi kuhle. Uthi ukuthi kumele si-investe in ku-education yabantwana bethu. ngoba singeke sidevelop lama-industry sizavula kathi noma sisithi sifuna ukuqhatha abantu abethu sizabaqhatha njani bengafundanga. So kuqakathekile ukuthi kumele kuplane ebuyayo simake sure ukuthi abantu abethu infrastructure zezikolo wonke umuntu nilethemba lapha kubhili yakhe yezisa ubebhadala okuthiwa yi-rural electrification, kodwa igetsi yangikhona ike yafika yini emakhaya ethu. Izikole zethu azilama-science lab. I-science lab ukuthi ufunde iscience kumele ukuthi ubuye edorobheni. So abantu abethu bemakhaya-ke kumele benze njani. So kuqakathekile ukuthi siphakamise imfundo ngoba imfundo yiyo i-future yabantu abethu. So i-government nxa sizangena thina sifuna ukuthi imathebheleni izikolo zakhiwe. Lokho ukuthi kuthiwe khona abantwana balutshwana isikolo sokumele ukuthi umntwana ahambe 5 kilometers ukwenzela ukuthi abantwana bakwane isikolo, khonokho akulandaba. Abantwana bangafunda bengu-10 nxa belotitsha ozwayo babhase eklasini. Ngiyabonga.
I think it's so possible by exhausted. We have but let me say this. If you are wanting to revive an industry, industrialization or reindustrialization within the context of a devolved state, it means you must have faith in that devolution. I've already expressed skepticism around the success of devolution in this country. More so that the kind of devolution clause that you have in your constitution is a far watered kind of devolution. So let's not talk about it as if it really solves our problem. I don't think so. But anyway, within the context of this general agreement, we are clamoring for devolution. What do we do when it comes to industrialization? For us as answer, the answer to this is, if you're going to shake this tree until it drops all the leaves and the fruits inside the bare, you have an opportunity to determine the kind of fruits that you get. The first one being that go into affirmative action for the people to own the means of production of that area. Currently, talk of any industrialist in the poor state team, none of them comes from around. Whether you talk of manufacturing, you talk of the cattle industry, maybe the cattle Bulawayo umthetho welokuze ovala amasenzi enkomo. I-cattle industry, all the commercial farms must khangela khona kumathebelele. And excuse me for being emotional, because abantu bayajayela ukuthi si-emotional siyabuya lapha sikhuluma izinto kuphele khona lapha. Please, isikhathi se-boardroom politics sizaphela nxa abantu bengasizwisisi. Ngoba into esikhulumayo ukuthi iyasizwisa ubuhlungu, it's hurting us. It has been hurting us since 1980. So it's a misplaced expectation that somebody must remain normal, sane, and unemotional. When we are talking about that. And I just want to wind up by saying, if you don't engage in affirmative action and lose out on the window of opportunity to bring about equality amongst the various people of this region, whereby you don't have a marginalized people because they are ethnically mispositioned, they come from the wrong tribe, we will not get this right. So the industrialization will again be a false start. Thank you.
Let's start with you, Mr. Mzila-Ndlovu, on this next topic, which is on national reconciliation. What is your party's position on this? What do you think needs to be done? And do you feel that the NRC, the National Reconciliation Commission, will fully address the problems of Bulawayo, for example?
Look, about 2 weeks ago, I came from Rwanda and had first-hand experiences of what the Rwandan people went through. What I learned partly was that the perpetrators of that genocide, a lot of them were arrested and they are being tried in various parts of the world. Our situation is unique where the perpetrators of a genocide are actually in charge of the system of government. And so you have one giving way to another, and one is silenced. 3 major people, Robert Mugabe, Emerson Mnangagwa, and Stephen Sekeramai, the leaders of the political. I was part of the negotiators that brought about the GNU. When we suggested the GNU, the organ for national healing, we genuinely thought that the ZANU-PF component of the negotiations was genuinely wanting to see peace and reconciliation. But let me tell you my experiences, follow them closely. You always talk to me. Follow them closely. It says to me, look, this is a myth. There's no NPRC until you arrest the perpetrators of the genocide. And so the NPRC is now being ministered by a resident of Matabeleland, Kembo Mohadi, 2 weeks ago, makes a statement that the Ndebele people have no case except that the genocide was an equalization process to what their ancestors did to the Shona people. Now, you think somebody cannot be emotional about this? And we want to waste our time thinking that Mnangagwa can be advised by Professor Kilevanyati to in fact seek a solution to the NPRC. Look, let's wake up and smell the coffee and accept it that we are being led on a wild goose chase. There is nothing that is going to come as a solution to NPRC. In fact, I would have expected Professor Kilevanyati and the chairman, Justice Nare, to resign because they come from Matabeleland over the statements made by government. For me, Violet, it is a waste of time, NPRC, waste of state money. It is a fluke. It's misleading the people of Matabeleland. It's a window dressing. It will not get anywhere. What we should be fighting for is to ensure that people get arrested. We should be getting out there in the streets and demonstrating, demanding the resignation of Kembo Mohadi, demanding his relocation to Mashonaland, demanding waste our time and think that we can get a solution to the NPRC and to the genocide by getting the perpetrators being the cooperating partners in a process that actually should in fact crucify them, put them on their nails on their head over the genocide they committed. I think we are not being real. Thank you.
I was privileged to have gone with the committee parliamentary for e-justice, legal and parliamentary affairs. And I think people spoke. People said they want truth-telling, they want justice, and they want compensation. So if people should follow people's voice. Ukuthi abantu bathini. Ngoba ababekhuluma ngabantu abeshelela luhlupho ngithi awungeke kuyekhulunywa umuntu ozihlaleleyo phezulu ngale like ubaba umaluma uMzila saying ukuthi perpetrators ukuthi perpetrator yena ngakutshela ukuthi kumele lithi reconcile si reconcile ababuza umbuzo straight ukuthi uthi sikuxolele nje wenzeni abazange bazuza impendulo. So I think we should follow what people say. Bafuni truth telling, justice and compensation.
One of the most persecuted ministers in the GNU is Moses Mzila-Ndlovu, who was persecuted precisely because he took this thing, ababe negotiating national healing. Remember they removed in the transitional justice, anything reference to justice and tried to run with it. And I was privileged to be able to be with him, to assist him. During that time, it was terrible. They did all sorts of things, including terrible things. And it shows you what interlaying is something that touches a raw nerve. And the way it is formulated, Tina, MDC Alliance, Simone Gazani, it's a total umele ukuthi ivulwe futhi. Reformulate something which will be a process as accepted ngabantu bonke. It's beyond a ruling party or the party in government that's voted. I think we need to reopen national discussion so that uphenduke amabalanje abo transitional justice sebekhona together nabo reconciliation. I-reconciliation kayivumi singatshelana ngamaqiniso singavumanga ezinye izinto. And I think this is a big one which is beyond just the MDC Alliance ilungisa. Our approach ungakhangela policy document ukuthi is a discussion obesivule sibamba izandla sisonke sizameni ukuyilungisa njengabantu beZimbabwe.
Indaba ye-peace and reconciliation itshengisa i-weaknesses ezikhona isisekelo sombuso. Oqala i-National Peace and Reconciliation Commission, i-mandate yayo icover izinto from 1893. In other words, isuka lapho uLobhengula wasuswa khona namakhiwa lapho wabaleka wayake eNorth wala ukubanja ngamakhiwa. Now, what it means is that you must be present in the past. Uthi ungazabonakala ukuthi abantu abafe lapha khathesi sesizibusa babole uhulumende wethu okumele ukuthi ngabe uyasiprotect. We should have a peace and reconciliation which is talking about peace among abantu abeZimbabwe basebezibusa abalwela ukuthi bazibuse bendawoni, but where that has not happened. Now we put a lot of issues as Velela 1893. Possibly it is not related to the Human Rights Commission, where it should be. Maybe Human Rights Commission is a smaller scale. If you notice, Professor Reg Austin, what cheer Human Rights Commission? Because it was not worth anything in the way I have my mind. What cheer? Now, umuntu waqala i-National Peace and Reconciliation Commission, Mzila-Ndlovu. Now, Advocate Mzila-Ndlovu, what a book just a year ago, kaphiwanga ngitsho even state-assisted funeral, let alone a hero's funeral. Ngoba wayeqine kakhulu wayengavumi ukusetshenziswa, and that is the difference with abantu abarana i-Peace and Reconciliation Commission. They are very compliant people, bazakwenza abakutsheliweyo and bahamba besithulisa nabantu bokulungisa ukuthi singazisahluphana singavululi kakhulu okungaphansi kwenqamelo, and yet there is a lot that should be done. I would like to see a National Peace and Reconciliation Commission which acknowledges the responsibility of the state we ushered in 1980. Ingabuyeli kudala khonale angathi kuthiwa iyaswela engakwenza with our current situation, and it must have teeth so that there's transitional justice and deal with the current situation instead of being like a history lecture.
Okala Bulawayo was not national. Yataketa against the material. Okwesibili ngezi lapha saziwa njengabantu abaxotsha abantu be-National Peace and Reconciliation Commission. The reason nxa sabaxotsha sasibaxotshela ukuthi we cannot have perpetrators determining ukuthi indaba ye-genocide kumele ilungiswe njani. Out of 8 members of NPRC, only 2 were coming from Matabele and 6 from Mashonaland. Khonokana kodwa kuyatshengisa ukuthi abantu abangabe serious ngokulungisa udaba lombhuqazo. Okwesibili abantu bengacabanga ukuthi sikhuluma ngombhuqazo wayizolo okubulewe khona abantu bakithi abanye abathi more than 20,000. Kanti na kwelinye icele sithi silento okuthiwa economic genocide ebenefita abantu bempumalanga kuphela. Wena ungacabanga ukuthi sifuna i-compensation, sifuna ukuthi owawonayo vume kuphela, kodwa sithini kathesi ngalokho kuqhubeka kusenzakala ebantwini bakithi ngenxa yomphumela we-genocide ka-1982 to 1987. Yikuzathola ukuthi elinye ijaha emphosa ukulingana lalo esizelwe mnyaka munye bathebele i-interview eBritain bathi uthini ngoRobert Mugabe, wathi naye past is past usekhulile sakhohlwa ngokwayizolo. Bathe sebembuza ngeGugrawundi wakhona esiqaqabe ethi hayi amacala akhe kumele awaphendule. Ngezindlela kuyatshengisa ukuthi whoever is there, whether isinankakwa loba ngubani wempumalanga, abakabi bethu kulungisa indaba ye-reconciliation okwabo ukuzosiqila ngezinto ezokuthi bafuna ukuthola ivoti yethu beqeda lapho bahambe. Into ye-genocide kumele ilungiswe yithi abanikazi bayo, ngoba yithi esabulawelayo singatshelwa ngumuntu owasenza isihluku ukuthi kumele senze njani, ngoba yena kunguyo benefitayo thina singabenefiti. Ngiyabonga.
Ngabethi bona kumele sibhadale okunye okwenzwa ngabanye abantu. Ngabethi amandebele kukhona abawenzayo ebantwini besishoneni, mina ngangekho, I wasn't there. But engikwaziyo igugurawundi engangikhona ngazibonela ngawo amamehlo la, babeqhaqha ebhasini engangikiyo, baqhaqha umntwana oyinkazana wayezithwele befuna ukubona i-dissident phakathi angisebhasini kule ibhasi vele jolojo. So asol theory le into eyenzakalayo, and nxa omhadi bengazange bekubone bengasitsheli ukuthi siya equalize ngoba si equalize lutho okufunayo kuphela yikho lapha abantu abesindebeleni abahlala eMathebeleland nxa kukhona into efanele isi unite iyona leyo. That's why we must speak with one voice. It does not matter which political party you belong to. Le into yase affecta sonke. Kakho ngafelwanga la. Kakho ngabulawa ngumuntu. Babulawa. My own brother was killed for refusing to throw away the Bible because he was a pastor. So izinto lezi zingafanelanga. Awungeke kwenzakala eSouth Africa when these things happened. Badinga iCommission yabantu ababe impartial ukuthi bayikhangele into yakhona yikho yenzakala. Hayi kwenu kuyathatha umuntu owangibulalayo ukuthi kabe nguye futhi ozosimediatela. Yimadness phela leyo. I think asinginayitheni thina isindebele.
I don't think there is much to add, really. I think the facts are clear, it's been stated. Maybe the only thing I can say is that I agree with Mr. Nkomo Uguti. If you want a commission that stands half a chance of doing the job that needs to be done, it has to be composed by people who are independent. People who are sufficiently informed about this region, this country, the history, but they have to be independent. If they are not, you don't even get started. So that's that. I mean, I think that's clear. The only other thing I would like to highlight, however, I'm sorry if I offended any sensitivities about my emotions. Mina, you would clearly into the Mathebeleland are very emotional issues, the Midlands for that matter. But in terms of leadership to solve those issues, the leadership you need to solve these issues cannot act emotionally. It cannot. If you see, Mthwakazi on its own, Mzila-Ndlovu, Uchilo, Rwanda, I've been to Rwanda many times. I've been to the Museum of the Genocide. Even in independence is a bit similar. Ngoba thina sathathu ilizwe lethu after ama atrocities and inyazola Moyo and so on and so on. But thina, when we became the people ruling this country, it was up to us to decide how to deal with it. When you get the perpetrator still being in power, all I ask you, I do not know the answer because if we position ourselves emotionally, I do not know how we proceed from there. I don't know. That's what I want, guidance. When you get emotional and the perpetrator is still in charge, how do you move from there?
Thank you, Doctor. Emotions are a human nature, so we can always hope that we don't interfere with our ability to take decisions. My final question to the gentlemen and ladies is, there's been a lot of talk about voters' roll, a lot of noise, a lot of dust about voters' roll. Let's be brief about it. Do you have faith in the current voters' roll, its accessibility and its integrity? And then we can go over to the next day.
So let me, I don't know what the answer is, but what I know is the following. Now, you act transparently. Now, you act transparently. If you don't act transparently, your actions suggest that's all I want to say.
The problem, Eslayo, you are asking that question. Do you have faith in the integrity of the voters' roll? I haven't seen it. How do I have faith in something I don't know about. Up to now, when all of us were actually submitting our nomination papers and were admitted that we're candidates, the law says we must be given a voter's roll. But that is not there even up to now. But I'm very suspicious because if voters roll in ZAPU, and within ZAPU are many CIOs, how does a CIO produce a credible voter's roll? We've been saying all along, please remove CIOs. They have the budget here where remove the CIOs. Employ other people that are non-partisan, but that has not happened. So whatever they produce, the likelihood is that it will actually have faults, and that's why I go to this election knowing that the voters' roll is actually not credible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Siyabonga. Sikhuluma kanje sibe lohlupho ngendaba ye-voters roll. Si-disqualifyele i-candidate yethu eMangwe, kwathiwa abantu abanominathileyo abarejistanga ngoba besingela i-voters roll. Sagijima safika eMangwe, sathola ukuthi abantu ababili abadisqualifyisele umuntu oyi-candidate yethu, omunye wakhona warejista mhla ka-1 December 2017, ngila istab yakhona siyiphethe ngezandla. Owesibili watransfer from Makandla esiye eMangwe khona ngale, silayo iproof yokutransfer ngeperiod ka-19 to 29 May. Engifonele khona upriza okade omunye ujudge, sitting judge oweGwanda, ngimtshela ukuthi sengiphethe lokho bodisqualify abantu bethu. Wathi yena akasela amandla aseseharare. Ngafonela uDr. Moyo izolo ngamtshela ukuthi kathi liyenza njani, nanku phela siphethe ubufakazi. Wathi leyo yinsinda baphendule endaba. So kusho ukuthi nxa sikwanisa ukuthola abantu ababili abangesekho abasiqetshwe ku-voters roll already, sa-disqualify i-candidate ukuthi vele i-voters roll leyi esiyangena ngayo ekhwetheni ayisoze incede kakhulu abantu be-opposition. Okunye sikutholeyo ukuthi i-ZANU-PF yona yayi-accessa i-voters roll before siye nominations court. Ngokumthetho kusithi siza kuye-nominations court bekumele siphathe i-voters roll. So kasilalo ithemba ngayo i-voters roll. Sicabanga ukuthi i-rigging yeZAPU iqale khona phana ngokuncitsha abantu i-voters roll.
Siyabonga.
I-voters roll under i-biometric voter registration asithina ilama-advantages over the old system, kodwa kulama-links with the old system ngoba ama-documents afunekayo ukuthi uye-register as a voter alokhu econtrolwa yi-department ka-registrar general, and u-registrar general is one of the most untransparent systems in this country. Elo muntu olokho wabakhona kusukela ntolo lakade silokho ekhona now. So we have a problem with the very basis of the voters roll is still also unreliable. Also, we security sector, not just CIO, but even army people. Actually, to the extent to which you say KG6, so we got KG6. So Togoka, in China, control even the procurement in China was not transparent. In fact, EUTP actually for in China. So there are many loopholes. There's Jackson voters but Labely administer they've managed to do it well. For example, correct. So they've been very, very particular to follow up. And I was here voters because you cannot say procedure. It means the thing is fine.
In measuring whether an election is free and fair, the temptation has been in the past for AMA observers, all over the world, is to merely look at the level of violence preceding the election and perhaps the level of violence during the election, and maybe the level of violence after the election. But the factors are many. Any voters roll at this point. Someone is nominated, and I can guarantee you voters roll. Already that affects the freeness, the fairness, the election material. I bet you Bafunu 2 weeks before the election. Yeah, I think it's useful now, and I think already signs are that the election is very far from being free and fair. Now voters rolls in a guide toy. But then I ballot paper at test. Now one ballot paper who's doing appears Kabafunu will chair about Kucaca constitution. But it's a purely administrative matter. Rita Makarao during her term was more transparent than this current chairperson open attends. But there are some things she could do administratively to try and involve our stakeholders, our political parties. What are testing as conditions as we see involvement yet, but so does it for me, which is in Aboya, what does this Urudula made or so? Without a proper participatory process in terms of interest ballot paper, and I think that our Fulu is merely, as somebody said, it's dog's breakfast.
On several platforms, ISEC was asked to demilitarize ISEC, and Chikumba refused to put Abulabantu military in that, which was not true. Vele Abantlabana Lai is a political appointee by ZANU-PF, and she's bound to sing for her supper. So it's very possible to Bulabantu Aba virtually Vinama sleep Abaza speak having a who voters for. So if free and fair is Abanzi Mangoba, Nabanyeza Tulaga Labini for which Abasozeva vote. So I learned when trust the voters for years. Uchi Pumba Mubaki Nadana interfacing with her, she really sounded ZANU-PF.
I think ngama misgivings that we have around the voters vote. I think kasiphelelanga thina as opposition. Anti sinye izanu ngoba ayikho la. Kasiphelelanga. When ngicabanga ukuthi mhla ka 17 November somebody can stage a coup, athatha amandla ngodakela okwakungathi ukuthi afe azimisela ukuthi ngife but ngithatha umbuso 7 months down the line athi ngifuna ukunika abantu. All what we do is to moan and moan. City sober up and say, serious. Do you expect to end the Nadinto? Atatu Musunganga what again? I will hand over Community my soul. Number 2, your Nadinto are massive 7 so to Tina Ulama second Buzek. Bonavati in the Balinga chief, I'm a teacher, I retire. I know so many of my former colleagues, some teachers and lecturers and whatever. Ababuzek. Yonizanity, why are you targeting about the military? Mina Mazomuni, that was this kind of uniform in combat, this kind of keep it. What would I look at the motor 8 in there? They want Captain 8 in there. One would have a huge person who called Abuzek. The problem with Kunma without information, you have no access to intelligence information. Uzbanibani is a serving member of the army. But strike off, the system is there. I'm striking off, but I saw the time. So what are we expecting, Tinake, as opposition? Tinakonapa, if we were to agree, Ugutas demand then Uguti. I will a fresh start if voters from either include the thousands and thousands or millions of Zimbabweans disenfranchised because they live in exile. If we were to do that, because we are afraid you can't do that, we have demonstrated demand a restart to the election processes. So You can't have your cake and eat it. Out of this one.
Okay, no, thank you very much. My goodness, what a deep, candid discussion that we've just had in this first round. And I think because of time limits, we are now going to open the floor and let you, the members of the public, ask some questions. We will say, please can you limit your responses now to just a minute so that we can get as many questions and comments in. Rejoice, are you going to help us? So
Absolutely.
we'll take about maybe 2 or 3 at a time and then give them a chance to respond.
Yes, sizacela amajaha lamantombazana abezesini bangene phakathi ukwenzela ukuthi nxa sisikhetha abazaphendula sithi fahla our time is really up. We also were surprised that the debate is so exciting, but I'm going to be giving you numbers, and once I give you the number, then you are able to say your point. If you waste time, then we are going to cut off the mic. But it's a Kuma Sonke. So I'll start from I'm saying number 1. Umama opakati man yamuni mic. Umama opakati wano tuzela number 2. Ancho opakati wano I can't believe that pam ye pakatapa. Number 2. And then sizawiza ngale emuva kuJoyce. City number 3. Ubabu ujaho kepeslwana. Yeah, city part. No, we are going to speak. Don't worry. So let's get some quick questions from you.
Right. Okurubayo, Omkureli Mafusi. Funa ukubuza ukuthi lonke la lihlezi phambi kwethu. Lithi lifuna ukusirepresenta kumbe lifuna ukusikhokhela. Okwalehlulayo lihlezi lapho ukuthi lihlale phansi, lihlanganise ingqondo zenu. Yekele big brother mentality. Balihlale phansi livumelane ukuthi lisiriske ebuzimeni lobesilamo njengathi thina ontanga likuyini ngaphandle ukuthi lani lisola abanye bafuna ukuya kudla phezulu lani lifuna ukuhamba lekapula futhi khona ngani ike selisola laba aba empower kathesi calalela thina khona ba
Siyabonga. Number 2 please.
Okay, my name is Mrs. Ndebele. I'm from 1893 Mthwakazi Restoration Movement. I am from Mthwakazi in heart, soul, and of course in blood. My question goes to Dr. Nkosana Moyo. I've gone through your manifesto. It's clean and pure. But do you think Zimbabwe is too dirty for clean politics? I appreciate your efforts of introducing the clean politics to us, the new generation. Please continue. I know you won't win in 2018 elections, but we have set a precedent to the new generation. We have actually cracked the new grounds. Really, it's unfortunate for us, the Mthwakazi, we have been hard too long, really way too long. Don't be shocked, really. Now we have exploded, and unfortunately, we are unstoppable.
Okay, so
Mthwakazi, vote wisely. That's my question to Dr. Nkosana Moyo.
all right, what's that one?
Okay, Kamalami Nkandla. And umbuzo wami uya uJahu uPhulu. Njengoba igqwethe lamalungelo abantu. It actually goes to your party, not you directly. But if you guys flout your own constitution, how then do you expect people to trust you to uphold our national constitution?
Okay, so let's start with the last question first. Mr. Phulu, flouting of the question of the constitution.
Thank you very much. I'll answer Nhlanhla's question. I think what Nhlanhla means is in reference to the issue of the MDCT. Remember, we are the MDC Alliance. And so, but I get the point that you are making, because our leaders are obviously, our president is from the MDCT, and the MDCT is a party which is within our alliance. And certainly, if there was a culture or a tendency to willy-nilly flout the constitution, it would be a matter of concern. But however, I do not agree entirely that the constitution was flouted. I think it's a matter of, two parties disagreeing and each party having their own interpretation of the constitution. And the courts have really said that this matter must be referred back to trial. In fact, they've said it's so complex that it cannot be decided on the papers alone. If it was as straightforward, they would have made the decision on the papers alone. But they've said it's such a complex matter that it needs to go to trial, and I'm sure after the elections, perhaps the matter will be pursued by the parties involved, and it will go to trial. I will file a disclaimer that I'm not part of the MDC, so I cannot tell you what the parties involved are going to do. But as an alliance, we'll keep a close eye on it and see what the outcome is going to be. Because the courts will then decide whether the constitution has been flouted and who. There are cross allegations where each party is saying the other has flouted the constitution.
Okay, before we move to the next question, Nomvula, do you have anything to say about this, since it also involves your party?
I would say we strictly think people should follow the constitution. People should not interpret to suit, because I think it's the people that write the constitution. People should go back to the people and say, are you happy that this is the correct interpretation, not the leaders only. So that's why I strongly say it's very important to follow the constitution.
And Dr. Nkosana Moyo, can you respond to that question about Zimbabwe being too dirty for clean politics?
Thank you. Fascinating question. Mamu take Kamala Kongan. Miss Ndebele. 2 days ago, there was an article in the Herald, an excerpt from an interview I did, and somebody was saying exactly the same. I'm too nice to be head of state. So the question I have for you, all of you, so lifuna ukukhokhelwa ngumuntu onjani? You see, Mali City Lina, I am too nice, the politics of Zimbabwe is not clean. What you are actually saying, Liti Lina, njengabantu abavotayo, lifuna ukuvotela umuntu omubi. That's what you say. Ngoba, I can win and I still believe I will win, because I hope that you will come to your senses. So, umbuzo wakho mama ufana lo mfowethu lo ophambili lo ubuza ukuthi yena indaba singabambani. Ufuna mbambane labantu abangalunganga. Okay, fine.
And then, okay, and then the first question was on the big brother mentality and the issue of the gravy train. I think that was the first question that the gentleman in front asked. So can each of you just quickly respond to that first one on the gravy train and big brother mentality?
Unless if you didn't quite understand the question. No, sorry, if you understood, it's okay.
Okay. Ngizama ukuthi ngikuphendule lokho. Yezwa. Ngizama ukuphendula ukuthi njengoba sithi thina simele abantu kodwa singama fractions anje. There's many fractions as the individual leaders here bekhona khona la. Okusehlulayo kuyini okwenza ukuthi ngicabanga ukuthi lathi singama gobs lamanga sithi sizama ukulungisile silamanga lathi sifuna i-gravy train. 90% of the chances are like go through political leadership yonke ufuna ukuba upresident khona lapha, analyze their characters, you come out with an answer ukuthi labantu bafunani. But again mina ungambuza ukuthi kwenziwa yini ukuthi ngingahlangani lalo. I'll tell you ukuthi mina I mean issues based party emathebeleni, and abantu bona laba nangikhuluma nge-marginalization abaningi bakhona but there is no one who is marginalizing emathebeleni. Ungakhuluma ngento eGukulawundi where I believe ukuthi yonke into i-problem eMatabeleland hinges on iGukulawundi. All the injustices in Matabeleland arise out of the genocide. Ungathi uyayiraise abantu bakutshela ukuthi ungaraise indaba eGukulawundi njani labana bangaraise indaba kaMzilikazi ke. These are some of the issues that make us fail to work together because the issues that we are pushing are different, and ours are peculiar because they are peculiar to this region. And so my issue now peculiar to Matabeleland. I don't think ever since my disappointment with MDC, it is possible to find somebody from outside Matabeleland really believing that justice is needed in Matabeleland. I have no faith. I don't think that umuntu who has no weak feeling, and a weak feeling into a common issue that characterizes human society, you cannot see a fellow citizen being brutalized here. We're looking we don't have a weak feeling in this country. Not until probably we have a weak feeling can we ever be united on what we want as the best thing for this country.
Thank you.
And I think we will just get the three gentlemen there in the middle to respond to this so that we can go to the next question.
I think so that we
Siyabonga. Before sikhulume ngokubambana kwethu kade vele sibambanelana. Asingeke sibambane for the sake yokuthi lithe sibambane. Okokuqala abantu bathi sibambanele ukukhupha izana. Mina njengomuntu eMatheweleni ngiyakuzwisisa ukuthi ngo1980 izana ayifakwa ngayini. Yafakwa ngabantu abazithi bayi majority over the minority. Now thina nxa sesiphuma laphana njengoba umzile sitsho siraise ama problems eMatheweleni. So kuthiwa ayasiqaleni sibambaneni sikhipheni izana uPF. Ngokunjalo sithi sesinanzelela ukuthi vele okungathiwa sikubambanela isikho kusihluphayo. Thina sihlushwa ngabanye abantu abathi baningi kulathi. Thina sinama problems ethu akhozwe ngabaningi benjalo. Ngokunjalo ngihlala ngitshela abantu ukuthi mina abantu beMpumalanga bonke sebasibusa akulandaba izalo yayibusa akulandaba umogeni uphoso wabusa abantu beMpumalanga bonke sebasibusa kathi indaba engebe nikhala ngichance itonga ichance iXhosa ichance umveta ichance isuthu siphume kule mentality yokuthi kubusa beMpumalanga ngoba bayimajority bona besona so akula sizathu sokubambana for the sake of ukubambana sibambana ngoba kulesidingo hayi ukuthi kulabantu abaningi kulabanye abantu nyabonga.
I think I admit that we've missed an opportunity. An opportunity yokuthi ama progressive parties abu opposition ahlangane, particularly nge presidential candidate. Abantu beZimbabwe were expecting that, but I think we've missed that opportunity. Why? I think Mzila tried ukuthi athi kuyini. The problem I've seen, because I've been part of those who are trying to negotiate this and get people to agree to a one presidential candidate, is that abantu usually our principals must negotiate, and because we're pushing issues to the principals who actually becomes the number one presidential candidate, it was difficult. And that's why for the first time we have 23 presidential candidates. So it was maybe 2023, but in 2023 so because I'm praying civil wood is having a new corner. Is it true?
Number one, City. Number three, right? I say mama to mama.
Now, if the big brother mentality has been a problem in form of a one-party state, and we are pro-plural democracy, multi-party democracy, how many parties must be in a multi-party democracy?
Okay. Umuzuban. bonke
bonke abaqalise besithi amaphathi maningi kakhulu angazi ukuthi kumele abe mangaki.
All right, siyabonga.
Multi-party democracy.
Number 2.
Ngiyabonga, mina nguNdlovu PZ. Ngizaqondisa kweMP wami babuSibhebha la. Ngiyakwazi ukuthi lonke lizamncedisa. Ngingakakuletha umbuzo kubuhlungu indaba ekhuluma into eGugurawundi. Selayithatha la enzinganekwana lapha ehlangana khona selixoxa ngakho songathi umdlalo inganokana kaMvundla noNteletsha bephekana isiko lokho. Thina abanye silezihlobo zethu ezineke ezigcwele phansi la. Asibeni serious nge-issue. Baba Nkomo. Ngizwe ngathi ngokuqinisayo ukuthi hayi into ye-devolution of power izasebenza sibili. Ngicela ukuthi umuntu omdala mbone ngathi ayishayisebenza. Bomama i-challenge ngiyifaka kini. Yini elandethi imvukuzane kuleli lizwe leMandebeleni. Ungayisini ngaka silalo lolu dubo esikhuluma ngalo. Lamhlanje kuzalwe ekhaya kukhulele ekhaya kwethu sinkomo kuzisenge kulime uzuza ukuthi sifake esikolo kufunde kuthi sokufundile kuthi ndakudzokela kumsha. Lamhlanje ungakhangela asikhulume ngo-Ward 14. Lamhlanje ama-candidate wobukhansila ngu-17. Ukhuluma nge-devolution power ukuthi iza kuba right. Basebenzela kimi lapha kusemsebenzini. Uzafakwa iqiniso lakho elikhulu kangakanani lokuthi selaphani White House lapha esidolo. Uzakwenza kube mnandi ngendlela okuzaba mnandi ngayo. Ama MP bangaki hambe Cholocho zenzo from Zishabane but is running Cholocho sakho. Ubuyele ukuba i-candidate. Sinababali igama lonke leli.
Yeah, sure. Sesiluba
kubuhlungu. Aluba ngabe lo muntu ngi-interview aseshodwa ngeke ngikhuluma okusemoyeni wami ngoba mina kunenge okukimla.
Salibonani, mina ibizana linguThando Mvele Youth for Innovation Trust. Ngilombuzo kwabaphambili almost wonke mina ngomunye wabo ababalileyo ama-manifesto kakhulu except le engabilonjwe isolo. Indaba ye-inclusivity sikhuluma ngoba sesifuna kube convenient kithi. Sesikhuluma indaba ye-tribalism. Kodwa kula kunye amanye ama-discrimination ayenzakalayo ayenza sehluleke ukuvota okweqiniso akhona. Ukuthi omama baphiwa inhlanyelo lani. Kusenziwa ukuthi akula ndaba ye-gender equality ephuma ngqo ngobuZimbabwe ngokuba yithi wethu. So bengifuna ukubuzisisa kini ukuthi kahle sithi i-inclusivity sizayithola njani, sizamela njani, especially omama abancane njengami.
Inclusivity.
Okay, so we'll start with the first one on how many parties must be in the multi-party democracy. So we can start with Dr. Nkosana.
You see, I think, it's fascinating because as I listen, these questions are the same as Mrs. Ndebele's question. The electorate is not accepting responsibility. Lonke lila kulamadoda kulabafazi lakhombisa lakhonjiswa. Wakhonjiswa kule ndoda eyodwa yini noma wena wayakhombisa kulo mfazi oyedwa yini. Kodwa in spite of all of the numbers, you manage to decide on one person. Why is 100 parties a problem? Why are 20 candidates a problem? Are we implying that we are not intelligent enough to go through a process? If I've got this building, when the electricity has got a problem, I know to go and look for an electrician, not a plumber. I know that. And so do you. So why are the number of parties an issue? What you need to decide, as we sit today, what is the problem that our country faces that we need to resolve? if it's the economy, you go and find somebody who understands the economy, not a lawyer. Now, if you look at the imithetho, lawyer. Says one. It's not a complicated issue. So just look at your candidates. Look at the candidates and firstly understand what job you want to be done. And then match the two. It doesn't matter the number of candidates. I'm a company industry. We do that every day. Now, if you chief executive of a company, I draw up what we call a job spec. What kind of person do I want? I start with a job spec. And then I advertise.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah? So that's what you should do. It doesn't matter how many parties there are. We know what the problem is. Let's look for the person who can solve it.
Ngiqalisa ngathi mina hayi la nxa amaphathi ekhona emaningi kodwa ke nxa sesisiya at the end azabe sengasekho. Amanye amaphathi akhona namhlanje were not there 2 months ago. Amaphathi aqalisa nje when there's an election. I am not so sure whether akula muntu yini othenga abanye abantu ukuthi benze amaphathi. Because kwenzakala kuphela when there's going to be an election and amaphathi mushroom up and at the end of the election you don't hear about them until at the end of time. Now I want just to say kuba Ndlovu idiqiniso lelo ukuthi okakathezi mina nginje so my first born is married to a chona and ngilabazukulu bamabanga machona uthi mbathi ngizabenzana abantwana laba they are my blood. And so I think that mina ngikubona kwami ukuthi where thina esisemathebeleland we should be respected for being in Mathebeleland sibe le ndawo yethu. And akutsho ukuthi endaweni yethu emathebeleland ngeke wahlala umuntu olishona, but mina ngiyakwazi ukuthi kufanele nxa sisenza ukukhetha kufanele kube ne representation, and the representation leyo abantu besigaba yibo abakhetha umuntu obamelayo. And nxa kungisecholojo umuntu wecholojo xa kusecholojo umuntu wecholojo ngeke wathatha umuntu webuhera uyethi kamele abantu becholojo echolojo, awenzakali lokho. Yikho ngisithi hayi asikuresisteni.
Ngoba ngolo siniku unomvula umbuzo obuziwe wegender lo ukuthi inclusivity imi kanjani. Yeah, awuzakho amanu unomvula kathi ayifahla phakathi ndabona.
Good gender inclusivity la okwenze siqine thina sisekela umuntu ongumama. Sibonile ukuthi ungani omama kababalwa ukuthi bangakhokhela. Ngithe nxa ngikhangela ngakhala ku social media lapha kugijima iqhude lesikhukukazi zisidla emganweni wodwa. Iqhude liyatshomola kuphela lisidla, kodwa isikhukhukazi siyatshomola sibuye sinike abantwana eceleni. Kutsho ukuthi thina abantwana bethu abasilandela ngemuva sizimisele ukuthi sibangenise entweni sihamba sibafundise sibamwende ukwenzela ukuthi bathi take over. Obaba bafuna ukufaka eziswini kuphela njengeqhude ukuthi umpikitsha lwana ngike ngije ngisebenza nje ngisiqhude liyadla sibi futhi kalidlala. Kodwa abantwana amatsiyana agcwele eceleni vele alikhangeli. So mina ngithi mina omama labo baba they can have equal opportunities. Omama senzela ukuthi ama youth bakithi ngabantwana bethu they should take over. Kumele sibafundise abangeke baphonge take over but kumele sibafundise ukwenza ukuthi nxa ngathi sesikhuluphele bathi take over. Bese ngisithi mina njalo lokho ukuthi abantu bangavotela bani ngizanceda ngokuthi la kudala sikhula emakhaya kwakukhulunywa ukuthi uyabona mntanami laphana kukhonjwa laphana kuyaloywa lapha. So kule mizi enjalo lathi sihlezi khona bese siyazi ukuthi laphana kuyathakatha lapha. So nxa lawe ususithi uyekhetha ijaha lawe ngathi uyathathani emzini okuthakathwa khona. So nxa usuvota lawe uyakhangela ukuthi hayi lapha akula ukuthakathi lapha yekela ngenzeni ngiqome khona kuyafana le ntombi lejaha kumele ukuhambe njalo.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I think we only have time for 2 questions.
I think so. You're the pressing issue.
Okay, so but can you just make them very short because we don't have time, so that we can just take 2 more from
I just wanted to say something on the question of gender. Ama-parties amaningi ayazama ukuthi akhulume ngegender. I-problem esilayo ukuthi abantu bakhumbula ngegender nxa sokubahlupha. Abantu ababegcoba abantu begcoba labo mama, when the chance comes ukuthi bona bagxotshwa ikhosi sebesithi hayi thina singomama kodwa bona bebegcoba abanye abantu. So I think that we should accept ukuthi i-leadership exhwalile whether ngubaba kumbe ngumama for a start. But number 2, ama-parties amaningi have not really been doing a very good job, including mine. I want to talk about my own. AOT party had 30% at least of candidates or any other positions. So we are said to be 50-50 if possible. I can assure you that we have not yet reached 10%. So kukhona singakwenzi kuhle kumele sikwenze ukuthi omama bathuthi ke party babonakala la ku leadership. So I don't think we have to find the root causes of the low participation of women in structures.
Yes, I agree entirely with Dr. Mkandla. In our alliance as well, I think more can be done, more needed to be done. It's regrettable that our numbers of women are pants. But of course, our circumstances are. But it's something that we've picked on, that we must work on to ensure this year will improve. If Israel faces problems that are multifaceted, and one of the biggest problems in the economy, and in Yavumuti Tina as front runners, we must ensure that Slavantu abazwisisa economy, and allow abantu abazwisisa economy within our ranks. And certainly remember, the approach to philosophy to leadership is what is coming. Say, "Kwekwa, labanye abazwisisa izinto ze-economy, abakwezinye izindaba." And ngithanda ukuthi ngifake disclaimer ukuthi it doesn't follow ukuthi umuntu nxa engugqwetha kazwisisi i-economy. It doesn't follow ukuthi nxa engugqwetha. I-problem yethu singayireducer to a one dimension ukuthi is economic kuphela. Yikho lapho esiqina khona singasabile enough emotions to appreciate the political nuances ezikhona. Ngoba kuzamele appreciate indaba ye-background, kuzamele appreciate indaba ye-trust, le political will. The political will is one of the biggest deficits esilayo. Ngoba kwe-economy kulandela nxa ulama-politician ale political will yokuthi ayilungise leyo economy.
Ngiyabonga. Nginanzela ukuthi umbuzo wamaphathi amaningi lana kuyakhamuthi eZimbabwe kule problem yikho kulawo president abaku-23. Thina ngapha emathebeleni sesadiscover inhlupho zethu. Yikho lithola ukuthi engxe yithi lapha lo baba Mzila esingazihluphanga ngokufa ko-president eZimbabwe. Sinanzele ukuthi inhlupho zeZimbabwe ziyahlupha. Yikho lawo bebaningi. Okwesibili indaba yegender line lahamba empini, kade empini lahamba ngegender yini. Ngifuna ukuba blunt on that ngesizathu esiyi-1. Omama nxa bezangena ekuphatheni abangene on merit hathi ngegender. Lingizwise why ngisitsho njalo. Sibe lohlupho esilalo kuleli lizwe ngendaba ye-Beijing eyama-equal rights ahamba landwa khona ngale China. Konke khona kukhana kusenze ubuzwe babantu badilika ngenxa yokuthi lanxa umuntu engenelisi ngenxa yokuthi ngumama sokumele ubalansise izinto. Mina I'm saying umuntu lobe ngumama lobe ngubaba as long as capable kangene lapha nesitiki na prove ukuthi ucapable. Ngoba sizaba lohlupho lokuthi ngenxa yokuthi sifuna ukuthi kubalance omama labo baba sokumele baphiwe futhi even bengadizeli.
ubaba kangangeni ngokuthi ungubaba kangene ngokuthi uChepephu yakwanisa ukulida but lokho kunye kukhozwe ngabanye abantu mhlawumbe langezinye inhlangano ezigijimisa into zama-donations and all those things besenza ukuthi thina njengabantu sehlukane kodwa singabantu banye kumele ukuthi umuntu okhokhela ingeno limerit ngithengisa amablanti angeka ndawo ngoba bengangithuka kodwa ngifuna ukukhuluma iqiniso abantu abangene kuma-leadership positions on merit hhayi ngoba sokubhalansiswa okunyade kungabhalansanga ngiyabonga.
I want to say something. What is happening is that if we are talking the way he's doing, most of these incompetent men and killers and thieves, I don't think that is accurate. So it's not a matter of merit. So we have to agree. Our mama, I don't know if she is an incompetent mother or a mother or a wife or incompetent. I can speak for my children. I have girls and I have a wife who's in the audience here who's more qualified than a lot of the incompetent men.
into yokuqala ukuthi ngithi lami ngake ngawa umntwana njengawe lawe kusasa uzaba liqhebu njalo emhlabeni lapha asikhumbuleni ukuthi impilo ngeyethu sonke abantwana labadala ngaleyo ndlela kasihloniphane sonke. Umbuzo wami wokuqala uthona kati kungani amaNdebele kumbe ngithi emathebeleleni nje kungazange kubhalwe i-grand plan?
Great plan.
Bese ngisithi-ke i-grand plan eyabhalwa yizanu yabhalwa i-MDCT nxa sonke silapha sayibala injongo yayo kambe awusikushonaniza imathebelele dina.
Yeah, this is the most okay, sorry.
Yes. Mina ngifuna uku-suggest antisizaqeda umhlangano kule ndaba engani yangithinta indaba ye-ground okuthiwa u-vice president wathi yena i-ground was equalization of what happened esikhathi sikaMzilikazi. My proposition, my proposition is that if that is the case, a genocide, even the Holocaust, traces, it leaves our footprints. There is evidence that Mzilikazi in this particular locality. Let them compile that list. And and then they demand that conversation. It will not silence people from Matebele because it is said Mzilikazi to Ngomozam. And as soon as you suppose Ngomozam nationally, we need to be factual. Let's suppose Ngomozam nationally. Ziafana Matebele, Ziafana nana. So lezo ngomo zathathwa zasiwa ngapi zadle kuzaphela yini inkomo ziyazalana phela so zafa zaphela. I think we need to deal with this issue seriously. Let them compensate. They'll compile the list of the victims, identify which clan was affected, bring it on the table. Material, bring your list on the table, and then we deal with compensation. Yabo. All right.
Mina abami baphansi ebhala khona
Libese lisithi bantu bezanu amakhala angafundanga. Kanti wonke amamishini la efunda obani, efunda ogidi. Namhla abantu bezanu lesikole eMashonaland ebuchabi ngenxa yeZimbabwe. Akade siyekela ukusitshentshela konke ukudla kwethu lapha eMathewelend ingodi yonke into akele kudla kini eTanzania. Akade sakunyela uyadinga. Kanti lalela emzini kutheni? Ivele lingasitshela ukuthi lapho uyanjani. Ngitshelile last year iParliament sisesitholi. Ngathi ake liyetshela yena lumdala owafunda kithi namhla sitamakhala ngafundanga. Abazange bamlethe. Waze wabamuleyishana baleyishana bonke. Mina nginje ngokumancube vele ngumakhamba evela ngesabi lutho. Ngoba ngoniwa ngabulawela abangabantu. Bengamaticha inkosi izikolo zakithi zinjani njani. Lizosiqala lithina siko naloko buyane yanga sikwazi futhi phela siyofika. Asoze safika. So ngicela ukuthi ioil lamanzi akuhlangani lindebele lechabi.
Right, okay. Udade Violet Gonda othe khona umama nangu la okhona la lo jahalwana sekwasuma ayolejise eHighland lwana eBlack and White ya ngaso nje bayithi isikhathi sesihambile bakithi singasilane lapha bakithi
ngiyabonga nangu mama uMazondo ngivelela ebandleni leAnswer ngilombuzo nje ezaba mu2 engicela ukuthi ngikubuze la kumayelana ngedevolution of power le esaba yidiski edinga ukuthi sijayive abantu bangene. So umbuzo wami ukuthi idevolution of power leyi elihlabelayo kangaka njengoba namhlanje uma ngikhanyele ngike ngabona mana ke ngithi ZAPU libandla engilihlonipha kakhulu. Ngizwe sebesithi upresident wabo Muchamisa. Ngicela ukubuza ukuthi idevolution of power ngaleyo ndlela iyavuma yini kumbe limelele ukuthi uChamisa aqale akhuphe izangu libe seliqala idevolution of power.
Siyabonga pho.
Osithi
abese owodwa kuphela mama. Isikhathi sakho siyala. Lapha ebukhona.
Ngiyabonga ithuba engiliphiwayo ngingumthulisi Hanana. Wami umbuzo ngoqondisa kuma panellists wonke. Ngeke ngafike ezekhi namhla bathe i-voters roll ikhona kodwa isiHarare. Umbuzo ngubuzo ukuthi njengoba kokulwa esingayiphiwanga lile commitment yini ukuthi singabambisana indlela kusasa lama candidates wonke siyicela na.
Right. Right.
I think we can take 2 more and just let the panelists summarize with the final. Okay, so we can have this gentleman here since there's been complaining a lot, and then let's take 3 more.
I think the presidential candidate.
Yes, and we'll end with the presidential candidate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can take this gentleman here and then.
Right, the gentleman who's standing is very curious, and then this one he's been here also for some time. Yeah. Some people are luckier than others.
Thank you, ngiyabonga ithuba. Igenda izayisekela ngoba singenzanga kholo. Igama lami ngu-Mzila-Ndlovu. Umbuzo wami kuma panelists wonke 1 or 2 of them bazarespond. Ukuthi into abayikhulumileyo yonke iyazwakala iyafanana. Then bonke basola i-grand plan basola abantu bokuza. Kodwa bona bekhuluma into ehambelanayo kabafuna ukusebenza bendawonye. Kambe akusikho yini ama-emotions akhona uDr. Nkosana Moyo na singela action na ubuzile uMahlangu ukuthi abanye bale grand plan lina likhona apho phezulu i7 alikwanisi uyenza eno na i-grand plan ukuze likhulule thina esihlezi ngapha. Mina mbona uhlupho lukuyini li7 khona apha. And unfortunately I'm profit out of 7 maybe oyedwa wena uyozangena eParliament ngenxa yokuthi likhuluma into efananayo kodwa lihamba lehlukene. Ngicela lisichasisele ukuthi why can't we have your plan lisisize thina esingapha ngoba kokwenza laba ngo4 benu olalongo belindawonye selehlukene. So I'm saying ngingasincedisa ukuthi why lingayenzi iplan yethu ngako sincede mabambonani neluvula imgenge. Thank you.
Yeah, right, my question I'm directing to Minister Spebankom. He's crying with why political parties being abandoned. The president one was a challenger, Isan, or the AED. Right? If you look at the panelists, almost all they are coming from one political party. They are all from almost, except Dr. Nkosana, he must be the one who is coming from ZAPU. Right? But the rest, they are from the same political party. The reason why we have 23 presidential candidates is because of one political party split too much. Honorable Spebankom is the one person who is so mobile. He is so mobile. He ran away from MDC. He formed another political party. He is always moving from running away, but he's expecting people to come together and they have one presidential candidate. He must be the one. For us to have one presidential candidate to contest against ET.
All right,
we need to ask you Honorable Spebankom to go back to MDC. Then all these other leaders, Honorable Nomvula, Ndlovu, they will also go back to MDC.
Right, right. Okay, thank you very much. My question is very simple. Number one, I would love to say, Uti, I'm very much disappointed with the way you select us to ask questions. The reason I say that, you realize that with the statistics that we have pertaining to you, all of you panelists, it says over 60% of the registered voters are people between the ages of 18 and 35, which are the young people, meaning to say the majority of the people that are registered to vote are us, the young people. Now, in all your discussions that you've been saying, of course, we spoke about Koraonde, it's a key issue. But my question to all of you is that, what is the Zimbabwe that you are bringing for us, the young people, in terms of where this country must go to? And then the second question is directed to Dr. Nkosana Moyo. It is on record that you were part of the government which included the 38 years of misrule by Robert Mugabe and ZANU-PF, and it is my understanding that you had to resign. What made you resign, and where were you all this time, the 18 years which we suffered as Zimbabweans, and why are you coming now at such a time like this? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So can we just have your final words and then just summarize some of the questions and comments that have come from the floor? But can you still make them brief responses? Thank you. We can start with, yeah, we can, sorry? He wants to be last. Okay. Okay, all right.
No, I don't mind. Where does one start to summarize? So maybe let me tackle the last question, the youth. No, let's start with the ZANU issue. I've never been a member of ZANU. The gentleman at the back, I've never been a member of ZANU. I was a member of President Mugabe's cabinet. I was brought in as a non-partisan member, as what they called a technocrat. I left because I could see what was going on, and that's what I've been proven to be right. I went to the president and I told him the way he was going to destroy the country. We spent, what people don't know, you've been told that I resigned from Johannesburg, which is not true. I went on the day I flew out of this country. I spent 1.5 hours with the president, telling him I was leaving. And in all that time, he tried to persuade me to stay. And I said, no, I'm not staying, because I can see nothing is going to change. Incidentally, I'm going to share with you something I've not shared with anybody before. I looked the president in the eye and I told him that his legacy would prove that he did not care about Zimbabweans. He did not answer me. He looked at me and said nothing. And I left the country. Where have I been? I don't think the environment has been conducive for me to do anything in this country up to now. But I did not waste my time. I went and spent my time learning about the economy, about finance. I worked at the World Bank, as you know. I worked in investment. I worked in industry. I worked as an investor. I invested in virtually all of the African countries out of London. So I understand how an economy works. I understand how banks work. I have actually run them. I've run banks. Here in Zimbabwe, I run Standard Chartered Bank. In Tanzania, I run Standard Chartered Bank. I sat on the board of banks in Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda. So I understand how these things work. So excuse me when I say, you want to fix an economy, don't put a lawyer. I am sorry, I'll repeat it time and time again. Okay? The same way that when you want to repair the electrical system, you don't go and get a plumber to do it. It's exactly the same. Just a digression. The education system in this country worked. Do you know why it worked? It worked because Mugabe was a teacher. He understood education and he fixed education. Mzila, by the way, with all due respect, our vets, they fought a war very successfully for all of us. But they do not know how to run an economy. They don't. So let's move on. They did a very good job. We should thank them and we will forever be grateful to them. What they do not know is how to run an economy. We should move on from that.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah, but the youth, let me answer the youth.
Please, we've run out of time.
But I'm here, so might as well. It's a very important question. So the challenge actually is not to us, the challenge is to you. You know, no matter how imperfect a democracy is, it is majoritarian. Okay? So you as a majority, are you very clear about what Zimbabwe you want to create? Are you talking to each other to decide who you should vote for? And stop beating up people, being sent by us to beat them up. You should mobilize young people. Because of your numbers, the outcome of this election, if you made up your minds, would be a decided issue. There is no other option other than you putting your heads together and deciding what kind of Zimbabwe you want to build, and then voting for the right person to do it with you.
Thank you. I just want to thank my brother at the back for directing the question to me. I do know the brother. Thank you for the question. This question he has asked me. He asked me in another forum. And I'm sure that if I go to another forum, he will ask me the same question. So the point is, I'm very sorry, my brother. I will not go back to the MDC for obvious reasons. And but if I'm not in this political, I've left this political party, I'll still keep friendship with you. You are my brother and you are my friend. We will continue to be friends.
Mina ngizathi indaba yama youth ngawona ngihlezi lapha ngi-example yokumela ama-youth sengenze imisindo eminingi ngisithi hayi ama-youth akhatshwe emsebenzini especially ama-youth akithi angeke ngikhulume ngama-youth akomakhelwane ngiyakhuluma ngakithi. So la ngaphandle kokuthi ungakhangela futhi le representation yethu kubantu abazosimela kuma-political parties ethu, I mean kuma-parliamentary elections la kuma-councillors ngabantu abayanga 21 between 21 and 40 balutshwana abayedlula 40 khona ngale. So kuyakhanya ukuthi abantu abasha kithi abaqhakathekanga ukuthi bezonatha utshwala bese bechaya abanye kodwa bale role to play. Okwesibili ubaba uNdlovu lapha ubuze ukuthi why sihlezi lapha singabhalethi grand plan. Ayibhaleki baba Ndlovu ngoba emaphathi ahlezi phambili report eHarare. Siyathi licabanga ukuyibhala belale behambe kusuku besiya likhisa information khona ngale. The reason why amashona aba successful ukubhala i-grand plan ngo-1979, the MDC yaba successful ukubhala i-code triple X naleli khuluma ngayo kathesi, yikuthi into yabo bayenza leyani into okuthiwa loba lingantshelanga uba banyamazi bayahamba bayevalelana ekhoneni bayenza into yabo iziphele ngendebele. Bakwenza even uba uJoshua Nkomo esiya e-Addis Ababa khona ngale ku-press conference yena ebhizi ethi uhamba labo kathi sebegijime babhoda ngale bayaplana okwakibo.
so engikutshoyo ukuthi vele i-grand plan ayisoze ibe successful ngoba lapha abantu bakithi bancenga ukuyanikwa imvutho eHarare besithi ba-protect nationalism bengaprotect abantu bakithi besindebelele. So ayibhaleki, izabhalwa kuphela yithi esi-clear-minded ukuthi we are fighting against ishona hegemony. Laba believe ukuthi hayi basazayenza ngcono kulalokho okwenziwa ngoba uJoshua Nkomo hayi basapheka amatopi. Kodwa nxa uvele ufuna ukulungisa into yakithi akugcekane nalaba abantu ume laphana bona beme laphana, but i-grand plan ayisoze sayibhala sila. Konke ama-problems la siyawazi siyakhuluma kodwa sikho prepared ukwalungisa ngoba sa-report esozibele. Ngiyabonga.
Nxa sikhuluma ngama-political parties sasicomplaina thina sisithi ama-parties ezokade right, sasicomplaina ukuthi ama-parties asesedlula i-50 asedlula i-60 khathesi as of last week I think asesedlule i-133. Now ama-parties la amaningi kawakhokhelwa ngabantu abavela emathebeleni. Ucaca Phulu lapha can vouch for me. When we were negotiating ngapha Cape Town ngaphi ama-parties ehlangana nxa kuthiwa sekufuneka ama-principals around the table, nxa kulama-parties angu-16 there were less than 4 akhokhelwa ngabantu bemathebeleni. Now into esengiyitshela abanye abantu I think lizakuthi ababala liyahlala ngathi lina bantu lokhu licomplain ukuthi ama-parties baningi amanye afonyo isiyayo. Ama-party kawathengwa ayafonywa and awubhadala imali nxa ufuna ukufoma i-party. Nxa ufuna ukuthi ube ngu-principal nxa sekuhlangana ama-parties form yakho i-party come to the table because ngibonile lokho odabengwa lo-Welshman and so on nxa behlezi around the table bebe outnumbered completely ngabanye abantu abalama-party angeke agcwalise ikhombi eyodwa. So let us be different in our thinking ngama-parties la. Sikhangele ukuthi ama-parties la vele asebenzani. Ikonte mina amanye ama-party anjengalokhona kwakudala kwakuthiwa lo nxa esesigezela uzaba right uzaba mhle. Then okwama-young people abantu abatsha bakhona la abanye bakhona some of us that's like umuntu omtsha bengabalutshwana ukudla umuthi iphi lapho khona lapha phamsisandle babona silaba ama-parties sila i-candidate eBulawayo Central umuntu omtsha kakhulu but nasi into ekhona lowana kafakelwanga ukuthi sibe lokuceciso ukuthi lo muntu omutsha ungene ngoba uyasebenza. Kasikhuthazeni abantu abatsha ukuthi basebenze ema-partyini bangalindeli ukugcotshwa. Umuntu okugcoba ukuthi ube yi-party leader kusasa uza kuyimuka isigcoco sona leso. So let's form our parties with meaningful young people. Then the last point ama-vets ngiyadana ukuthi umoyo ukhuluma ngama-vets angathi yibo abalimazile izwe. Ilizwe lalinyazwa izanu and izanu labantu bayo abagangileyo kuqalisa ngabohunzwi abahamba bethatha amaplazi amanye besiya kosinyama bengakhangeli ukuthi kwenziwani. Ayisiwo ama-vets esikhuluma ngawo amazipra ayisiwa egangile ihambe senza zonke izinto lezi. So please nxa sikhuluma ngama-vets let's define ukuthi kulabantu abagangeleyo abathatha amaplazi abasetshenziswayo futhi and abanye bathatha amaplazi angu-5 abangakwazi ukuthi ikhuba libanjwa likhangele ngaphi. So let's be different. Thank you.
I won't touch on all the questions, but I think abantu abatsha iqakathekile because nxa sikhuluma ngokuthi ilizwe ladilika i-economy yadilika abanye abantu who bore the brunt of that ngabantu abatsha for many years. La nxa sebekhulile ubutsha babo ngabantu nje abangazange bakhula ngendlela elungileyo. But I understand ukuthi bakumzindela esempini wayengumuntu omutsha. So umuntu omutsha vele uzahlala ethwele nzima ngalezo sikhathi ukuthi wayele 21 years. In our party internally silabantu abatsha who have been committed to the struggle. Ansoze khulume ngokunengi khulume ukuthi they have been committed consistently to the struggle. Kunzima eZimbabwe bazange baphuma babaleka batakuko conducive. They have been committed to facing enaleyo into ababekhangelane layo. And today in our party our president is a young person. Banengi abantu abatsha bakhona in our party berise ngemerit. And that's why we are part of the generational consensus. Isikhathi sokuthi abantu abatsha bazilungisele. So thina njengephathi ekhokhelwa umuntu omutsha sithi one of the things esizayilungisa yena leyo sifuna ukulungisa imisebenzi ama-jobs for abantu abatsha silungise i-economy. Ubaba umoyo naye sizamnxusa ukuthi abuye azosilungisela i-economy. Kodwa-ke kuline up yethu abantu aba-competent. Ubaba umoyo by the way you know by training ngumuntu wama-sciences ama-sciences lawo wahamba wafunda ukuthi i-economy yenziwa njani. Namhla uyayilungisa i-economy but he believes ukuthi ama-lawyer wona kangeke uthi entayibhithi warani i-economy leyo for 5 years. Abanye abantu abangasoma-lawyer bakhona bakulama-teachers. Our problem is politics, and we need people who can engage politics consistently. If you have not been able to engage politics consistently, then you cannot pass the ballot test on 30 July 2018. Thank you.
Kulo baba okhulume nge-grand plan okuthiwa yabhalwa i-MDCT. Ikhona civil document yabhalwa nguTsvangirai esithi yena umgayo wehlulekile ukupenetrate imathebhileni yena useyipenetratile. Yikho kunokuyinto kwakhona okusenzela sisatshedele emuva ngoba kwesinye isikhathi uyakusuka into lapha liyasetshenziswa la lithi line livotayo elimisa ibandla ukuthi liwine kusasa abantu balenza ngalila lesiphukuphuku. So khathesi sesibonile into ukuthi hayi isibongo sethu amatswana athi lebo yamuntu ki plate yamasipha iyo thank you ebesingani sesiyitholile ku youth tina esifieldile ama youth kuma MP sifieldile sibila ama youth kuma council kuma MP omama kuma constituency sile 5 out of 12. So sizamile kuma council mbona ngani omama bayangena i14 out of 29. So tina sizama ukuthembisa ukuthi hayi kusetshenziswa soze sikuvule kusenze salwa labantu bakithi sangani sizatshana ngezibhakela labantu bakithi sase sibuya sikukhanya ukuthi no man lapha lokuzeni isibungu asikho kithi lapha isibungu siyalethwa ngabanye abantu. So sithe hayi sizakwenza into esiyenzayo kodwa labo bayavunyelwa ngedemocracy ukwenza kodwa asifuni ukuthi siqatshaniswe ngabanye abantu.
Ngiyabonga mama. Izwala. Ngibona ngathi umbuzo omningi siphendulile lokuthi bekungala mbuzo oqondane lami asoze ngiziduke ngokuphendula. Kuphela ngathi mina in summary ngithini ngaloko akade sikwenza namhlanje khona la. What it says to me is that it is possible to introduce a democracy and the culture of debate where people accept alternative views and say the best way to move forward is to accept abanye and be tolerant and say abantu balenhlupho zabo lenhlungu zabo that are peculiar to themselves. And if we can continue with this, mhlawumbe singathi get somewhere. But I'm not going to be under any illusion to think ukuthi mina ngakhona lokhu through this method if challenges esilazo emathebeleni are going to be resolved. Number 2, ukuthi the coming elections abantu sithemba ngazathi ukuthi sithi thina the outcome will determine who's big and who's not big. In 1980, abantu who contributed the most around liberating this country were never even recognized. So it is possible ukuthi ube lotsotsi ongena kathesi ethena mina yime ngithandwe ngabantu whichever way. Ikakhulu ngazwa abantu abancane njengoba kukhanya ngazathi kuyifashion ukuthi umuntu omncane ezifu ubuncane uyazikhethela. That would be young. And some of us are so handsome. There's wisdom in this frailty. But the question is, never you be under an illusion to think on behalf of the ex-combatant. I'm one of those people who stood up to condemn his own peers. And I want to see themselves as democrats at that time. And you can dismiss me on the basis of ex-combatant. I don't know what I want. I think it's a misnomer. But I accept what is an alternate view. And as a Democrat, I'll accept what are entitled to their views. If you can accept what are entitled to their views, as long as they don't hate you. If you want to hate And let me tell you unless we deal with this matter that divides us into the various groups where we rank imhlobo and languages and say kunomhlobo onje ongcono kulabanye lathi ngokuphukuphuse siqasa ukulandela abanye and say awungeke waphumela ngaphandle ukuthi uthole ishona lakho lokungena ngaphansi kwekwapha la.
Ngiyabonga. So before we finish, I think we'll give a last word to Dr. Mqondisi, who's one of the 23 presidential candidates. We'll just give you a minute and a half and then we'll close.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Dr. Violet Gonda. And to Dr. Moyo, I'm a lawyer by training. And I specialized in fighting corruption in the awarding of government contracts. So I understand very well how to deal with corruption matters. And I also understand very well how to deal with investments. And I also understand very well how to deal with the issues of economy. I just want to speak on a few issues that have been raised by the people in this August House. First of all, when we are talking about devolution, as it is in the current constitution, it is not going to bring development. Why? Because the section that speaks about devolution, as it is written in the current constitution, you are going to have more than 30 people as part of the provincial councils. In each provincial council, you are going to have chiefs, senators, members of parliament. Those are going to form the provincial council. If you don't want anything to move, or if you don't want any development to take place, you put politicians in the provincial council. So as Bethel Christian Party, we are actually offering a different form of devolution. We are saying each province must have 12 people, and we are also going to have our own ministers. They're going to be 12. Then my inauguration is going to take place here in Bulawayo. Secondly, I'm going to be after the inauguration. I just want to say something. After the inauguration, the government is going to be here for 6 months. Then we'll be able to deal with council of employment.
Thank you very much.
And youth
Thank
support.
you.
Thank you.
Well, Tale phansi sibonge phela siphonga phela ngathi sesiqedile ukukhuluma siyabonga abantu abasivakashileyo. Now we really would want to keep talking, but I think time is on our side. It's not on our side. We would like to thank very much our panelists. Can we give our panelists a big hand, please? They took a lot of time, their time to come and do it. We really feel honored to have had an opportunity to listen to your very insightful interventions, and we would like to appreciate and understand. Most of the things that we've been talking about here are on record, and we'll make it a point that each of your party gets the information. Sibonge futhi dade uViolet Gonda obela thina phandle koBulawayo ukuthi exactly. Yeah. Ask us Chinese and Christian. Thank you very much. So we hope that we have enjoyed ourselves today. We also feel that Zesni has given us an opportunity to express ourselves. Goodbye and